Today's video is about emergency beacons, and this is what I use to as my last emergency resort when I go on adventure travel anywhere. I have obviously mobile phones and satellite devices and navigation systems and whatever, but if for some reason all of those fail and it's still an emergency and literally you need to get someone flown in because there is nothing else that can be done, broken leg, snake bite, things like that, then you need one of these personal emergency beacons. This was purchased back in 2012. The good thing and bad thing about them, the good thing is you don't need to recharge them. The bad thing is that they do have batteries and they need to be replaced. Usually on the back here, I'll put another sticker on there right now, but the previous one was saying 2018 is the battery expiry date. You have to register these devices with the local organisation in your region. So in Australia it's the AMSA. There is a website, I'll put it in the details. And I have a registration number that has to be renewed every 2 years as well. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to go through a process of how to actually replace the battery that's in here. There is some work that needs to be done. You need a soldering iron, some screwdrivers and odds and ends, and you'll see as we go through the process. Let's get started. To open up one of these, you need a Phillips head screwdriver, and there's two screws that have to be taken out, one in there and also one in there. Normally, if you're opening it up for the first time, there is some glue in the top screw there, and the best way to actually get your screwdriver in there to undo that is you've got to scrape away that glue. It's quite brittle, so with just a flat screwdriver like this, a small one, you can actually break it up and get all the gunk out so that you can actually get your screwdriver in. I did open this up before. Okay, so normally those batteries, this is a previous battery that was in there already, was already plugged in, and there's a little connector in there that I just pulled out, and so that's the old battery, and that's how the unit looks like inside. So really straightforward. The seal is this rubber seal here, so when you put it all back together you just make sure that it's all nicely sealed and there shouldn't be any problems with water leaks or anything like that. Next task is to actually replace this battery. Now what I've done is I had to cut that plastic there so I could take the plastic out and take these batteries out. So that I'm going to be reusing this, I'm not throwing that away. So here's the existing battery. They are Panasonic CR123A, 3 volts. Now they are wired in series, which means the total voltage is just over 9 volts. So what I want to do is I want to try and see whether I can reuse these tags. I bought 3 new batteries, Panasonic CR123As. Now the reason why they're together right now, I just glued them together with some araldite. So they're already there, but there's no connections made between them. So right now they're just 3 lots of 3 volt batteries. I'm going to continue and we're going to see whether we're going to get these wires across to there. Going to have to solder it. Some new connections. I've got the solder here as well. Red goes to positive and black goes to negative. The first things first, I'm going to cut off these old terminals. So then I'll do the same with this one. And I'll pull this tag off as well. So I've managed to keep the tags. And now the trick is to see whether I can actually solder it on. So that's the old battery. I have to take those tags off as well and solder those onto the new batteries. The trick is to see whether I can actually get a good connection on there. I'll try this first. Okay. So far it's actually looking pretty good. So the next one is to try and get some solder onto this base here, which would be the negative. Same sort of thing. Let's see if I can get some solder on there first. And that's made a connection. So far we've got the black to the negative and the red to the positive. So now we just need to make a bridge between the positive and the negative there, and a bridge between the positive and negative there. Then we'll have all the batteries in series, and we should have 9 volts or more, being brand new batteries across there. Okay, so next is, do we reuse these tags, or do we actually get some wire and just put that across there? Something I think actually just putting some wire across might be a bit easier, so I might just go grab some wire. Which isn't double core wire, but I just use one part of it. It's pretty hot here. A bit too hot. That's okay still. As you can see, it's not that easy. It'd be nice if these batteries were already tags were already there next to the battery. This could be a complete failure. Anyway, let's continue. I can see the reason why we're using those small tags is they actually stick better. See whether I can use these smaller tags. Okay, that's one off, one side. Rotate that off. And that's the other side. Okay, let's give this another go. Yes, you need lots of patience. It appears that I've made a connection there. And the proof of the pudding will be to see what voltage we actually have across the whole system now. Between that negative and that positive should be over 9 volts. Alright, continuing on, I did manage to measure the voltage across the terminals with my voltmeter here, but it's not very accurate. It only gives me to 9, it just says 9 volts, so at least we know that the connection is made. I had one of these other cheap cigarette lighter voltage meters, and that's showing around 9.2. When I open up the battery pack for this, the package actually said manufactured in 2018, and it has a shelf life of 10 years, so it should be good for up to 2028. I'll aim to replace the batteries again in 2026, so give it a good 6-year life. When these come out new, they say, look, it's you should replace the batteries 5 years from assembly, or 6 years from assembly, thereabouts. So if I replace it in 2026, then that should be okay. So I'm going to put this back into the unit here. Is put this casing around like that. Give it some strength there. And that will hold all this other firm plastic in place. Nice and firm. Make sure my wires are clear of anything. That black wire was just going over the top, not on the side there. Alright, So that all goes back into there, to the cartridge there. That will just sit in there. That battery just sits loose in there. When this is back on there, there's a little foam pad there that will hold it in place as well. So let's see how we're going to do this. Slide that connector back in there. Seems to be in. Okay, that appears to be back in the right position now. Like with all screws, it's important not to overdo them. The seal seems to be compressed nicely all the way around, which will make it waterproof. Let's do the test. Does it actually work? So on the instructions here it says if you press the test button, T for test, there's two buttons here, on off, which is actually how you set the beacon off, and also the button down here which is test, T for test. So if I press that once for 1 second, green light, long green light, followed by flash. So if you get a green light on the first press, as soon as you press it, and then a long green light, and then a flash, what that tells you is that success. It's registered that the battery condition is really good, and it does actually work. Fantastic. It's done. I will test the beacon out, and I'll give you the details shortly. Okay, so I'm outside with my unit. You need to be able to see the sky so that it can pick up the satellites. Outside GriniFlix studio right now. It doesn't look like much from the outside, but anyway, it's a good studio. It works for me. We'll go through the sequence now. So we're going to be pressing that button here on the side for 5 seconds, and let's see what it starts to do. Okay, pressing. You get that little green light, and 3 green lights there. Now I'm going to let go of that button. That red flash there that you're seeing is actually the unit trying to find a satellite. So apparently this goes for about 2 minutes. Green light, flash. So that's a good sign. So all those small flashes, green light and flash, means that the unit is working. And we tested the battery, that's working as well. So we have success, yay! Yippee! Back to the studio.